EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the ocean course at Kiowa Island, it's live second-round coverage of the Carolina Open. Things starting to slowly take shape here on this Friday. For some, it is a race for the top prize. For others, it's a fight to stick around for the weekend as we show you the leaderboard. We've got a tie at the very top at 4 under to this point. Meanwhile, our featured golfer, no lock to play the weekend, hovering a few shots inside the cut line, entering play. That one looking good. It's in the fairway here to start round 2. From the fairway, 98 yards remaining for his second. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Line may have been a little more sunken in than we had thought, but all in all, not a bad shot out of the bunker. This is a 9-footer. Come on, he deserved that one. All right, that's in for a bogey here to start the round. And he's going to fall back now to 1 over par. Frank looking out onto that marsh. No doubt there are alligators roaming around. So it's a good time to remind our players that this is where they decide how much of that marsh they want to bite off with the tee shot here.
Yeah, I don't really advise biting too much off, Rich. This is almost an S-shaped par 5. I mean, there's a long run-up down that right side. So basically anything in a straight line, a good tee shot, still going to be able to reach.
So some early problems. A bogey at 1, and now a tee shot into the bunker here at the second. Getting out more important than distance here as he readies his second.
Problem was going to start with that tee shot. Once it found the bunker, needed a cool head and a second shot that found the fairway. Not quite there though.
Nah, just caught it fat out of the rough. Never had a chance of reaching, and now it is time to regroup and try to escape with a par. Gonna have to try and give this a good thump to fly it to the hole. Well, this one out of the bunker, that is a positive development, but not on the green. It's in the short grass. This will be a 14-foot putt here. Yeah, that's a good putt, though it is for bogey here at the second. And that's going to move him back to 2 over par. Now to the third hole. The par 4 is 390 yards. You're going to drive across the marsh. The fairway is expansive. Really, the challenge here is that approach shot. It's a tabletop green. If you miss it, it will be a hard-earned 4, I promise. That's up the left side. And this, a tee shot that fits the eye, and that'll be just fine. Tee shot found the fairway left. Now this, his second to the par 4.
That's a head scratcher, that approach shot from relatively close in. I would have been looking at 10 to 15 feet.
Sensational. What a putt there from a long way out. That somehow goes down for a birdie. And he's able to get it back to 1 over. Frank, this is the hardest hole on this outward side, a place where you can let the big dog, as they say, let the big dog eat, let it rip.
Yeah, but you still have to be cautious here because you've got to get the ball solid. It's a long carry just to get over the wetlands. And then there's 3 bunkers down that right side. Perfectly placed, all for a different length of a tee shot. Marvelous shot.
This is where club selection is so important. Second shot into that stiff breeze.
Lovely pitch shot. Just nipped that ball off the turf. Just flew through the air beautifully. Sat down fairly quick as well. Good shot.
Might have overread it just a bit, and it stayed out wide left of the hole. That one finished off. It is a bogey here at 4. And that's going to drop him down the leaderboard just a bit. Par 3 fifth here is 207 yards. It's one thing to hit the green, but it's another to navigate it. If you're on the wrong side, you might have a difficult time just two-putting. Yeah, he was wanting that one to bite, but that was destined to be long all the way. This will test the skill set here. It's his second.
Well, it's tough to shake off that bogey at the previous hole, especially when you hit a shot like that.
Oh, he nearly got away with his par from off the green. Still a great shot, Frank.
Yeah, he's surprised it didn't get to the hole. And to be honest, at first I thought he hit it too hard, but it didn't even get there.
This is a good par 4, the 6th. Frank, what's the right way to attack here, beginning with the tee shot?
Well, most people look at this hole and they want to aim a little right, but I'd rather be in that sandy area on the left than the thick rough, to be honest. So this is where a practice round often helps. Get a nice line, but challenge the left, but don't go too far left. Got it?
Well, you can't walk out and drop it any better than that. That is a fine tee shot right there. Second shot coming up, and we say hello to Iona Stephen.
Yes, we have 140 yards left to the flag, and that pin, well, it's back left today.
Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't cash it in. In the rough now, wondering what might have been. Just 5 feet left. Nicely read there. It is a par here at the 6th, and he'll hold steady at +3. The 7th at 579 yards, par 5. Bunker will be on the mind throughout. First, you'll need to avoid one off the tee. Next, you'll need to avoid the long strip that hugs the left side of the fairway on your second. And for good measure, a moat of sand encircles the area left and beyond the green.
That is an excellent tee shot, and now this par 5 is certainly within reach.
Really hit that second shot on the button to this par 5, but Frank couldn't get it to stop.
Yeah, too good, too long, sadly.
Distance control a factor there. That is out of the sand, but right into the rough. Yes, a perfect read there. That is in to save par. And he'll stay right where he is. Second par 3 here on the front side. Frank, would you be happy walking off here with a 3? Or are you getting a little greedy here?
Hey, always greedy, but in the end, I'd certainly take a 3 more days than most. When you look at this green, just have another look and see the angle of it. The green actually angles to the right at about a 30-degree angle. That's actually what tricks most people out when they misread the wind.
Yeah, that one came in a little hot. It's safely on, but it'll be a long look coming up. Okay, so this one, maybe a birdie putt in name only. Okay, good roll there. It is a par here at the 8th, and he'll remain right where he is. The final hole on this front side is a right-to-left par 4 at 514 yards. A lone hot bunker right off the tee must be avoided, and most players will be left with a mid to long iron into a green with more than its share of humps and hollows. Oh, that was a beautiful golf swing right there. Everything working in harmony, and a great result in the fairway. This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that. Maybe a little too pumped up there. That just flew past the flag, but still an outside chance for a birdie.
This from about 10 feet. Yep, that's nicely done. It's a birdie here at the ninth. And this will be a 2 over 38 on this front side. Through 9 holes, good time to take a deep breath and look out at that spectacular panorama, which this tee does allow you to do, Frank, as it sits right atop the sand dune. It's really pretty.
It is, and it's another hole that still goes in that westerly direction. When you look down at this fairway, you have to respect the right side. Right side is a complete and utter no-no. That's where all the big numbers come. So if you're going to err a little on the left side. The hole does open up. Second shot's going to have to be played across the bunker, but this par 4 gets your attention to start the back 9.
Uh-oh, this is well left. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Ooh, and that went straight down. That's going to be tough from there.
That rough is obviously much thicker than we were all expecting this week. Consequently, took a lot of speed off that shot.
Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
Okay, no further damage. It's a bogey 5. And he'll slide back now to 3 over par. We arrive here at the 593-yard par 5 11. Off the tee, it is imperative to miss the sand areas on the right side. On the second shot, best to lay up to the right, taking the waist area on the left side out of play. Do that, and you'll have a good chance at a good score. All right, in the fairway.
This par 5 green is well protected. That's 2 good shots, but that bunker's there for a reason. Now, with some nifty sand play, we're looking at 4.
Just too tough to control out of the sand. That one unable to hold the green. It'll run off into the short stuff. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Okay, well done. It is a par here at 11. He's going to need to come up with a few birdies in short order if he wants to play the weekend. More fun now from Pete Dye here at the par 4 12. This is the widest fairway on the golf course, but then it is one of the narrowest approaches.
Yeah, it's also the start of 2 very important par 4s here at Kiowa, Rich, because the drive here and 13 has to be spot on. This one has bunkers, but both second shots will have water in play.
This started toward the left side.
What a great driving exhibition, just pounding that driver down the fairway. I want to see more of this.
Now from just under 100 yards, he'll stare down his second.
That's a bit of a head turner, really. That was a green light situation from that distance, and far from the best shot I've seen today.
Good effort, but that'll run 2-3 feet past the hole. That one safely in. It's par here at 12. And he'll stay right where he is. The 13th is a tough one, no two ways about it. Par 4 at 497 yards. That lagoon that came into play near the green on 12, well, it's now a canal that borders the entire length of this 13th. The left side, no bargain either, with 4 deep pot bunkers greeting those who play a little too conservatively. Yeah, that's a nice swing, and the result is going to be a tee shot that is set up just fine. From the fairway, Iona, this his second.
We have 124 yards left to the hole. The pin up front in the right-hand corner of the green.
And a good iron shot, just not quite as close as what we'd all want to finish, but still.
An outside look here for birdie. Well judged. That is in for par here at 13. That's going to keep him on the outside looking in terms of playing the weekend. Par 3 14th hole, and this one is a stunner, isn't it?
It looks good, but it's not much fun to play. When you look down there, you might as well be hitting on the top of a pyramid. And look at the way it falls off, down to that sandy area on the left, a good 10 feet below. If you finish up short, it's going to roll the way back to the tee box that way. Good 10 feet short. If you miss it on the right, well, that's about 10 feet below the level of the putting surface. I'm not even going to talk about the back of the green. Please, please, hit the green.
And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. Sitting up in the short grass. Frank, how hard is the up and down from this spot?
Rich, the numbers don't lie. The best players in the world barely get it up and down 50% of the time from here. So that's the odds. Don't think they're stacked in your favor. The strike was fine on the pitch shot. Ball first, then turf. Just wasn't really hit hard enough.
Nah, the putter bails him out there. That's in for a par. And he'll remain right where he is. On to the 15th, a par 4 at 466 yards. Plenty of room in the fairway off the tee, making this definitely a second shot hole. Because trust me, you do not want to miss left and find yourself in a waste area you need a ladder to get in and out of. That will do just fine. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Ah, yes, never in doubt. It's a birdie here at 15. And that's a step in the right direction, but he is not through to the weekend yet, as he is currently right on the cut line. Final par 5 of the day here at the Ocean Course is the 16th. Frank, this was a pivotal hole down the stretch at the 2021 PGA Championship.
It certainly was reachable in the right conditions, but you look at that fairway, even though it's wide, it's split in two sections. The right side is the flat side and the top side. The left side of this fairway, it all runs down to the hill. Got to be a little lucky, but good looking hole. That green sitting up on the top of the hill as well, with huge sandy area on the left. So if anything, just respect the right side when you're coming into this par 5 green. But remember, you are playing a great par 5.
So in the fairway, but a pretty good number to carry here for a second to the par 5.
Two solid shots at the par 5 and found the green side bunker. Lie looks good. Now, just needed a good bunker shot.
And we'll have to see here. It looked like that ball hopped from the lighter rough into the heavier stuff.
And just when I thought the momentum was going in the right direction after that birdie, please don't give it back straight away.
Oh, that's marvelous right there. Let that club slide right through the sand, and that might very well limit the damage here. This hole really taking its toll now. Okay, not taking advantage of that par 5. It's in for a double bogey 7. And that's going to move him back to 4 over. You think TPC Sawgrass has Pete Dye's most diabolical par 3 17th? This one is a close second at 223 yards. It is a full carryover water to a green that slopes left to right towards the water. If you try to play it safe and go left, 2 deep bunkers are there to make life difficult. Okay, center of the green. Good shot. Let's bring in Nota Begay III for a look at birdie.
And he's gonna have to have a healthy respect for this one. This is straight back down the hill, though only a little bit of break.
Hang on. That's gonna leave about 3 feet.
Yeah, that was maybe a little overcautious. I bet he'd like that one again.
No problems there. That's par here at 17. But he's going to remain outside the cut line, so it'll likely take something special at 18 to see him through to the weekend. Time to get it to the house. Here we are at the par 4 18. Look, championship level golf. Frank, you know this. You contended at the majors. You want a hard-earned par on that final hole. This is every bit of it.
And more, that's for sure too. When you stand on this tee, it's over 500 yards long as par 4. And to remember the rest of the golf course, you are finishing a round on the longest championship golf course in the history of the game.
He'll be factoring in this breeze in his face as he sets for a second.
Everybody goes to the range and they all want to hit 300-yard short shots. But those little chip shots, they're just as important.
That's a good putt to save par here at 18. And this will be a second round 76. So conditions were tough out there, Frank. Our featured golfer could ever really put it together, and it's going to mean a missed cut.
I got to be honest, Rich, that was underwhelming. It really was. I think you got to have a good, cold, hard look in the mirror.
So for Frank Nobilo, Nota Begay III, and Iona Stephen, I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time on EA Sports PGA Tour Golf.